Hello everyone, so today I want to discuss about how you can play Jenos as a solo healer. You all must have seen those crazy high healing numbers like 200k or even 300k healing with him. Now in the previous video I said his healing numbers are not that good to be a solo healer, but after playing him for a while, that's not the case anymore. The thing is, he is perfect for this 2 tank meta that we have right now. Tanks have high health pool, which means if you run him with Celestial Touch card, you can give them a burst healing of 15% of their maximum health. I'll explain how it works later. For now, let's just see what is the loadout that I am using for this card. Most of the players are playing him as a solo healer with this kind of same build, so as you can see all the cards are pretty much the same. The only thing we changed is increased his healing distance to 30% by setting the light years to level 3 and decreased the self healing to 80 by setting relativity at level 2. Now why did we do this? There are a couple of reasons for that. First of all, you don't really need that much self healing because as a solo healer you're not gonna be in the fight, you're gonna be sitting back in a safe place from where you can heal everyone. And even if you get flanked by anyone, you can just run away because there is no cooldown on your Stellar Wind. It will always be up whenever you need it. So if you feel like you can't win a 1v1, just run away in a zigzag motion so that you're hard to track, or run behind a cover, but you have to make that decision quickly. Some players are saying he's the best support in the game right now, which is true, but not because of his heals. Even though Hi-Rez nerfed his healing to 220 per second from 250 and his speed of Stellar Wind to 65% from 75%, even after that he's still gonna be the best support in the game. It's not because of his healing, the main reason is his whole kit. You have Wide Grip, which is basically a death sentence to anyone if your team is coordinated. Then you can heal through walls, which is the best part of this kit. What this means is, no matter where your teammates are going, you can always heal them. For example, your Fernando is flanking the other team and he's very deep into the backlines, where you can't see him. As soon as he goes low on HP, he will use his shield and you can just put an astral mark on him through wall, which makes him even more deadly than he already is. The reason why you see those high healing numbers with him is because he's always healing no matter where the teammates are, which makes him even more powerful in public games where teammates are not positioned properly. Theoretically speaking, Malamba is the best healer if you are talking about numbers. Then why don't we see him as a top healer most of the time when the other team have a Jenos in a public game? The problem is, in pub matches, players don't pay attention to where the healer is. They rush in too far where Malamba can't heal them efficiently, but a Jenos can. This is the reason why Jenos was healing so much that Hi-Rez had to nerf his healing just a little bit. But he will always be strong unless you make him completely useless, which is not good. Or keep him like this and think, why in the world would you make a healer that can heal through walls? How can you possibly balance a healer like that? Anyway, other thing that makes him really good is his Stellar Wind, which is like Victor's Hustle, but it's much more powerful than that, because it switches your FOV to third person. You can peek corners with it and there is no cooldown on it. So we all know they changed how emoting worked because people were exploiting it to peek corners, and you can still peek them but you can't cancel the emote for 2 seconds after you start that animation. So there is a risk now. But just after that they gave us Jenos. Like, what? Due to this ability you don't have to rely on your teammates that much as a support player to keep you safe. On top of that, you can waste a lot of time of the enemy flankers that are trying to chase you down. And he can dish out a lot of damage, which is high enough to deal with any flanker if they are not careful enough. If a flanker gets a first shot on you and you're not sure where it's coming from, immediately press F. It gives you a third person FOV, which will help you in tracking down where the shots are coming from, and you can also dodge shots by moving in kind of a zigzag unpredictable type of motion. I usually run away when a flanker is trying to chase me down while putting an astral mark on my teammates to get those self heals on me. Now if he stops chasing me and tries to go for my teammates, then I turn around and try to pressure him out. And sometimes I don't run away if I think I can take that 1v1. Try to land as many headshots as you can. His gun doesn't have that much recoil, which allows you to land those headshots very easily. Headshots will increase your DPS so much that if a flanker misses some of his shots, you're gonna win that 1v1 most of the time. But if you're not sure where the shots are coming from, it's better to just run away and take cover while peeking the corners. Secondly, we are using light years at 30% range is because now you have Celestial Touch, which allows you to give a burst heal of about 400 to 700 to your teammates if they are not affected by Cauterize. This much burst healing can save anyone from a tough situation most of the time if they are smart enough. But if you're using Luminary or the Void Grip card, then you don't really need the range as you can't save anyone with those slow heals. You can just use your Stellar Wind to close the distance if the teammate you want to heal is too far. But with the Celestial Touch card, every second counts. You have the ability to give them an instant bump in their health, which can help them sustain some of the damage until they find cover or kill the enemy who is trying to kill them. You can even set it to 40% by reducing your own self heals, but I won't suggest doing that because then you will die a lot, and the key part of playing Jenos is to stay alive and be a nuisance by distracting all the flankers that are coming to kill you. Trust me, with this build you can hold them off for a while, which will result in point captures most of the time. But always remember to put your Aster mark on your teammates even if you are running, because if you are just running around then your whole team will die and you will be useless. Some of the tips will stay the same as I talked about them in my previous video, like you should always keep your Aster mark on 2 of your teammates all the time. But with the Celestial Touch card you can heal a same target twice in a row if you think they need it, like a tank who is getting focused by the enemy team. You can also run the Luminary card with this loadout if you are not a solo healer on your team. Or you can use my other loadout that I discussed in my last video, which I will link at the end of this one. That loadout is basically if you are not a solo healer or you have a lot of flank pressure on yourself. Then you can run that loadout with Celestial Touch card. Lastly, Jenos plus let's say a Grover is a really powerful combo if you want to run a double support, because Grover will provide a burst heal of 1000 to your tanks, whereas Jenos can give a lot of sustain to everyone else with his slow heals over time, while giving them that extra 15% damage increase. Or even Grok is a really good choice. It really depends on what your team wants to do. If you have a Grover and Jenos with 2 tanks, then you have a lot of point control, and if the other team does not pick up Blaster to break that point control, then they are gonna lose for sure, unless they can hold on until their Wrecker and Cauterize come online. And with that, I will take my leave and see you all in the next one.